Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Small Biz Stories. You know me, your host, Dr. LL. Every week we bring to you wonderful guests, and it's just the list just keeps going on and getting better and better. It's unbelievable. Today we've got Amber Page. She is the founder of Far Beyond Marketing, and she's got all kinds of things to talk to us today about tips to help us, well, get noticed because you know what happens if you don't have a plan, right? It's a plan to fail. Hi, Amber. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks so much for having me, Dr. L. It's such a privilege to be here.
Awesome. Well, we like to get folks dialed in for those that are having the auditory experience only. So we have our guests describe either themselves and or their background. So those who don't have the benefit of the YouTube visuals can say, "Oh, okay. All right. Let me visualize. That's the person that's speaking." So what do you want to share about you, yourself, or the space that you're in?
Sure. So I am privileged to be the founder of Far Beyond Marketing. We are a female-led marketing agency out of McKinney, Texas, which is North Dallas. I'm a third-generation entrepreneur and an international best-selling author for the book, The Far Beyond Marketing Guidebook, How to Stop Being Duped by Bad Marketing.
Excellent. Now, do you want to describe a little bit, not about your business, but about yourself and your space? Again, we just try to give people that visual element so that they can cling to, oh, okay, let me give you a sense. And then we're going to get into what you think is your superpower.
Sure, absolutely. So, our company is, as I mentioned, all female led. We really specialize in strategy and we love being in the McKinney, Texas area. It's a beautiful community. We're in a Adriatic village where it's a walking business community. We have a Starbucks, we have all kinds of wonderful artwork and architecture. So our clients love to come and meet with us here in the office. We have a team of creative directors and story brand guides that work with us. And we really specialize in helping entrepreneurs to grow their business from six figures to seven figures.
Ooh, excellent. So let's talk about that, having that personal space where people can come in and meet face to face, because depending on who you talk to and depending on which industry or even which aspect of an industry, people are locked on one way or another. No, absolutely. It has to all be in person, or they're on the other side of that equation saying, no, 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 everything virtual. There's no need. Can you talk to us about the difference that having an in-person meeting sets you up for with your clients regarding their marketing campaigns?
Absolutely. So we were very privileged to have one of our clients fly in and meet with us from Lubbock, Texas, just a month ago to sit in the conference room with us for about 9 hours and really strategize on what their national brand was going to look like. We helped them to flesh out their messaging, their graphics, their strategy, their website. By the end of the day, they had all of these things done, completed, and launched. So when you're able to collaborate in person, you're really able to catch the vision and the nuances of every single brand. And we want to make sure that a brand is clear and effective for our clients. Now, that's not to say we don't work with people remotely. We serve clients in New Jersey and California as well. But we do love that highly personalized white glove touch for every single client that we serve.
Oh, and you said New Jersey, of course. That's the state that I'm dialing in from.
There
So
you go.
always good, right? The Garden State. There we go.
Love
I mean, I
it.
know there are parts of it that people make fun of, but there's other parts that actually give it the reason why it's called the Garden State. And I'm lucky I live in one of those Garden State part areas.
Hey, I'm from Texas. You know all the jokes that come from Texas, so I'm right there with you. And you have beautiful flowers behind you symbolizing the Garden State. So,
That's
you know,
right. That's right. Freshly grown here, right? All those sunflowers starting to come in. All
love
right.
it.
So, Amber, talk to me and our audience about what you, Amber, not your business, are really, really good at. What do you think that
Yeah.
superpower is that you have?
Yeah. My God-given superpower is to translate someone's vision into reality and to make complicated concepts simple enough to execute on them from a marketing perspective. So I can sit in a room with my clients, listen to them talk, understand their vision for their business, and put pencil to paper and create graphics and a story that resonates with their target audience so that they then can empower their team members to go out and do the same.
Got it. So one of the things we also like to do in our podcast is upfront, right? Why wait till the end? It drives me personally crazy where you go on these webinars or whatever and you keep getting all the hype and build up. Oh, we're going to release the secret. Then finally at 59 minutes, the secret is, yeah, buy my book or whatever it is, which nonsense. We don't go down that path. I can't stand that stuff. Give
Yeah.
our audience a practical, actionable tip that they can take with respect to their marketing.
Sure. So the first thing you should do is do a website audit. Does your website pass the grunt test? If someone comes to your website, can they figure out what you do and what benefit they get from working with you in 2 seconds or less? If they can't, then you're confusing people and wasting money if you're spending money driving people to your website. The other thing you need to do is make sure that website has a way that people can contact you easily, from a phone number in the header to a form right there below the hero image. So do a quick audit of your website, make sure it's fully functional, operational, and clear.
Ooh, excellent. I like that. The 2 second grunt test, right? I
Yep,
mean, anybody can do that. In fact, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I need to do the 2 second grunt test. I collect all this
yep,
advice from all my podcast guests. And yes, yes, I do put a lot of it into practice. Let me tell you, I'm one
I
of the
believe it.
primary, yes, I mean, beneficiaries of, of all of this. It's just, it's wonderful to learn from folks like yourself. So, all right, so let's talk about what's going on with respect to the impact of AI and marketing agencies. I've had several friends either pivot and or fold their businesses that were in marketing groups. Talk to us about what you're seeing with respect to your audience.
I think AI is going to launch us to even greater heights. We call ChatGPT Big T in our office. He's a great intern, but he's not a strategic thinker. So it's garbage in, garbage out. When you put the marriage of a strategic thinker in line with AI, you are able to be more efficient and you are able to accomplish more for your clients. And it helps you to do things, work smarter and not harder. However, when we talk about AI replacing the need for a marketing strategist, I believe that that is a fallacy, Dr. L. AI is always going to get smarter. It's going to continue to help us to perform better. It's writing code now, it's creating artwork, it's doing all these wonderful things that takes we as humans longer to do. But when you harness that power on behalf of your clients, and you can put that into the form of an overarching strategy that's going to drive their business forward, then it's a win-win for both the agency from an efficiency perspective and a quality perspective on behalf of your client. So we do love to harness AI. We use it for messaging, we use it for target demographic, we use it for website design, we use it for a lot of different tools, and our clients are doing very well with it.
Excellent. I just read an article before our podcast recording here today. A new study came out. I believe it's Business Insider, but don't quote me. Don't quote me. I got to look up the correct source there. But net, what they found is that most CEOs and senior leaders of mid-sized to larger companies are lagging behind in their knowledge and their acceptance of AI, which is creating problems and resistance for folks that are at the middle or at the lower levels who are saying, hey, this could totally help me with my productivity, with our go to market strategy. And because the senior leadership is lacking in that experience and comfort, they're squishing down the opportunity for the lower staff to use AI. Are you seeing some of this in your clients, particularly the national branded ones?
I do believe that that is a natural propensity of people in leadership who do not take the time to further their own education and knowledge and are unwilling to release the control to team members in order to let them soar. I'm a big proponent of empowerment and delegation. I want to surround myself with people that are more talented, smarter, and faster than me. I hire brilliant young women and young men to work for me because I'm like, hey, you're taking the classes, you've got the certification, you're staying up on top of the greatest and latest. So it doesn't surprise me that this is a natural trend. But when you think about it, those who sit at the head of the table who have to make the decisions on a daily basis are often heads down running the business. They don't spend enough time on personal education. And that's just something that we all need to work on, myself included.
Oh, all of us. And this is by no means meant to disparage any of the folks and what they're doing.
Sure.
Everybody's got a lot on their plates, professionally, personally. People are feeling stretched, right? That whole thing of overwhelm. But I do agree, that it's a really good tool that if utilized properly, right, in the right hands and not for nefarious purposes, that it can make a huge difference. And I was just curious to see what you were thinking on that. So,
Mhm.
let's talk a bit about the typical small business audience member that's on this podcast right now, dialed in. They are typically getting bombarded with, oh, hey, here's this AI tool, AI CRM, improve your digital marketing. Hey, here's this AI tool, makes the images for you, posts everything. And then they're also getting hit by marketing agencies who are saying, hey, forget that AI. We use it. You don't need to. Work with us instead. How do you help get the prospective buyers and folks dialed into what makes the most sense for them and aligned with their needs when they're trying to choose, do I DIY with all the AI tools or do I go with an agency? What do you have some of those criteria, Amber?
Absolutely. So, our 4 C's of effective marketing is the concept that we take everyone through in order to help them scale their business. And we actually do empower people through courses, through the book, through trainings, through masterminds to take it themselves and implement it on their schedule. Not everyone can afford an agency, and we respect that. What I would say is when you get stuck, you want that liaison to guide you to the next level. That's the difference between a strategy and a tactic. People can go so far with tactics, but if they don't understand why the tactics are not delivering the results that they want, then they need a strategist to come in and help them to put the tactics together underneath an overarching goal that supports their goals operationally so that the business will then scale. So I tell everyone, educate yourself, go as far as you can with AI. But when you stop seeing the results that you want, or you don't understand why your marketing is stagnating, bring in that expert, even if it's on just a fractional consulting basis, to help you put these things into place. Sometimes it's as simple as helping them to choose the right platform. There's so many different software as a services out there. How do you know which one's right for you? So you don't have to have an annualized contract with an agency. You can have a per project situation with an agency that moves you to the next level. We tend to be very flexible with our clients. We don't even do long-term contracts. We like month-to-month billing because we think we should be re-earning our clients' trust every single month. So there's a lot of flexibility that can exist between do it yourself and hiring an agency.
Ooh, and I really like that and respect that because I don't feel that a lot of clients are really ready for what's next. Many of them have made prior investments, 10, 20, 30, 50,000, didn't get the ROI they were seeking, so they're a little cynical, maybe call it a little jaded, and they don't want to feel pressured and squeezed into having to do something. So I like your approach. You're saying, okay, try the DIY, but you don't have to go it alone. This wonderful thing called fractional marketing can
Mhm.
really help you out. And so I think that's a great approach. And I'm imagining that's been well received by your clients.
Absolutely. We had someone reach out to us via Facebook just yesterday, and she stopped in our office and came and sat with us for about an hour. And we gave her advice on how to build an affiliate marketing business. And we gave her some online courses that she should take. And she said, I don't understand. Why are you not billing me? And we said, because our first appointment is always free. We want to empower entrepreneurs. There are over 54 million entrepreneurs that are the backbone of the American economy right now. If we can help the American economy grow and entrepreneurs expand their knowledge and expand their businesses, then that's a win-win for all of us.
Oh, amen to that. I mean, this is why I do the podcast. Same thing. People say, oh, you don't charge for it? No. Does it cost
Right.
money to produce? Absolutely. Other people do newsletters. I like podcasts. I like having the
Yes.
interaction, and our audience clearly likes it as well because they get a lot of insights, right? And some really juicy ones every once in a while come out, and you're like, ah, wow, I would have paid for that, right?
Right. Right.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Now, in just reference to something you said just a few moments ago about even helping your clients choose the best platforms, let's talk about that because I'm seeing this trend where folks are getting overwhelmed and they're saying, I've got to be on Blue Sky and Twitter and TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and Alignable and da 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 da. And people are Substack, right? People are losing their minds getting spread so thin. What's your advice to all of that nonsense?
My advice to them is to take a really hard look at who is paying them for their products and services now. If you're in QuickBooks or any other accounting software, you should be able to run a report, a year-to-date revenue report based on category or services or products. And you should be able to figure out who is actually writing the checks that's keeping your business afloat. Once you determine that, you've now determined your target demographic. Then, once your target demographic is determined, that's how you make the decision about where you put your marketing dollars and your branding. Hypothetical example, we know that an older demographic is still very active on Facebook. I think the average user on Facebook is somewhere around 54 years old. We also know that they tend to really enjoy their mail and their clipped coupons, and they still have paper um, subscriptions to the newspaper. So if you know that, and that's the average age of the person that you're serving, then you should be in the newspaper and you should be on Facebook. By contrast, if you're serving a younger demographic that's absorbing their content on X and on TikTok or any of these other video streaming platforms, that's where you need to be. So we do offer services for our clients to help them to identify that target demographic and then to come up with a strategy on where to disseminate their messaging. I don't know if you're aware of this, but 90% of people now are getting their content via streaming instead of traditional cable or satellite television. So investing in connected TV, OTT, Hulu, Netflix, everyone's doing commercials now. So think about where you should put your branding versus how you might have done it a few years ago. But it all depends on who's keeping the lights on.
Oh, bingo, bingo. Now, you said a little magic word there, TV. And so we're going to do a shameless plug because I'm really genuinely excited for you. We've got, we're talking to here, Amber Page, of course, as you know, Far Beyond Marketing, but she's going to be co-hosting a new TV show on the Thrive Women's Network. And that show is called Financial Freedom, Showbiz in a Box. So when does that start? When can folks look to find you on the show?
That's starting September the 8th at 11 o'clock Central Time. And I am so pleased to be partnering with the Thrive Women Network. They actually just hired me to be their fractional president of that entire organization. So I'm very blessed to be working with them. They are a franchisor. They are all about empowering female entrepreneurs with their own television shows.
Ooh, that's excellent. And can you talk to us again, where I never ever ask things to say like, oh, give us information that's not known publicly. I never do any of
Sure.
that. I don't play those games, none of that nonsense. But what can you tell us about some of the directions that Thrive's going in with respect to the types of female entrepreneurs that they're looking for, or anything along those lines? So maybe members of our audience can say, oh, yes, I could really benefit from some of those shows, or maybe I'm a potential candidate, right, to lead one
Definitely.
of those shows. What can you share with
Right.
us that's publicly known, Amber?
Well, what we understand about women entrepreneurs is that it's not a single lane. For female entrepreneurs, we are a complicated breed, aren't we? We have to balance our families, we balance our hobbies, we balance our loved ones, we balance our passions. And so a female entrepreneur needs an outlet that allows her the flexibility to do just that. She also needs a one-stop shop where she can get the education that she needs to grow, whether she wants to be a solopreneur or she wants to be a franchisee or even a franchisor in her own right. So, the Thriving Women Network is all about empowerment for the female entrepreneur so that she can go to one place, get the mentorship, get the skills, get the training, everything she needs to build that life that she wants to build.
Excellent. So we'll be looking forward to seeing you there on the
Yeah.
Thrive Women's Network. That's just so exciting. Like I said, I love hearing about things like this because in marketing, we've got to find ways to be different, right? We
Yes.
can't all devolve to the sort of sameness that you see out there. If everybody has the same pink and purple squares and we're all using the same Canva templates and this and that, like, how do you stand out? There's no personalization. There's no way to connect with the brand if it just looks the same as everyone else's. right?
Right, right. And I think that is such a big deal, Dr. L, because imposter syndrome is real. We really do doubt ourselves. Is my voice valid? Is it unique enough? Will it attract a big enough audience? And the answer is yes. There's enough work to go around for all of us. You do have to invest in your own uniqueness and not be afraid to niche down.
Oh, I agree. Well, like Alex Hormozy, right? Riches are
Yeah,
in the niches, right? I mean,
that's
that's
right.
that's one of his, I don't know, his pillars or principles or, or whatever it is. Something that he
Yeah.
has famously coined and built his, mega, almost billion-dollar empire in and around. But again, you said a couple of things like on the imposter syndrome and people feeling like, ooh, I'm less than, I've got this, I've got that. I want to get your perspective on what you think about follower count, these sorts of vanity metrics, even level of engagement, which isn't exactly a vanity metric. It is indicative of how you're going to do with respect to revenues. But I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs who are like, oh my God, my count is low. It's this, it's that. What do I do? So they spread themselves thinner and go on more platforms. What do you say to all of that? Does that really, really matter?
I'm going to tell you that it's a frequency over reach every single day. One of my favorite books to recommend for entrepreneurs on marketing is Marketing is War by Trout and Reese. And that's because it talks about the life cycle of a business and how you market a business differently when you're a startup versus a well established brand. When you're trying to take over the competition and you're trying to get brand share, or you're trying to maintain your brand awareness, you market differently. A great example about whether or not these vanity numbers really matter is the statistics that's coming out about email marketing. What we now know is that it really doesn't matter if someone's opening your newsletter or reading it. What matters is that they're seeing your subject line and company name in their inbox consistently every single week. So we don't even look at open rates as much as we used to, because what we know is top of mind awareness. When there's a special, when there's a trigger, when there's an opportunity, if they've seen your name in their inbox, they're going to remember your brand. So I wouldn't worry about spreading yourself too thin. I would again niche down, focus on where the real results are impacting your business, and really think about that frequency over reach. Most of the time, it takes 11 interactions with a brand before someone makes a single action.
That's a fresh perspective on that with respect to the subject lines and that level of awareness. I like that. So I said, I just love having different guests because everybody's got a different take. Even though there have been many guests in marketing, people have gotten focused on one particular area of expertise or what they see and know, and you can still always learn all kinds of stuff. So as we're wrapping up our show here, just a couple more questions. When we look at the graduates now who are going to their MBAs and business schools and things, I always like to ask this question. What do you think is missing from the curriculum in these new grads that are coming to work and intern at marketing agencies like Far Beyond Marketing?
Wow, that's such an interesting question because I grew up in a entrepreneurial household, and so I was working by the age of 8. I think that when we go to our universities and we invest in our education as well as we should, I'm a huge proponent of education. What we have to understand is that a good education does not substitute work ethic, and it does not substitute tenacity and passion. We have some wonderful full-time employees who are seniors in university right now getting their bachelor degrees. It's a great work-life balance for them to go to class, but they also understand that showing up every day and passionately serving our clients through common sense, courtesy, and tenacity are what's going to drive them forward. You can teach a skill, you can't teach an attitude. So even if you're getting an MBA in a highly niche area of marketing, such as web design, web development, graphic design, etc., you need to be able to think outside the box, and you need to not be worried about working hard because you're gonna have to put in your time.
Indeed. I've had some of these conversations where people are like, yo, bros in Lambos, let's go. Salary, starting salary, 199K. I'm like, I don't think so.
That's cute. I hope that works out for you. Didn't work out for
Exactly,
the
right?
rest of us.
Let me know. So let's talk for a moment or two here about the third generation entrepreneur impact because I think it sets folks up like yourself for much better success when you're surrounded by that environment of people that have walked in your shoes, right? They've lived it. They understand the hustle. They understand the ups. They understand the downs. They understand the 80-hour work weeks, right? And they understand that it's not bros and Lambos in week one making $199,000, right? So talk to us about how that has shaped you and what your advice is to those who maybe haven't been around entrepreneurs in their family.
Well, I firmly believe that if you find something that you love doing, then you never work a day in your life because every day it's your passion, right? It's like your podcast. You love doing what you do and it doesn't feel like work, right? And that's how I feel about my job. I love my team members, I love my clients, and I love the creative and analytical outlet that marketing provides for me. So when you discover your God given talents and your passions, and you can harness that into a business, then it doesn't feel like work. You want to work the 60, 80-hour weeks. Now, is it hard on your family? Absolutely. But there's also a great freedom that comes with entrepreneurship. If I don't want to take a meeting at 4 o'clock because I want to go to my son's ice cream social, guess what? Blocked off my calendar and I didn't ask permission. I just did it. So I do believe that you have to be willing to work. I do believe you have to have a very risk tolerant attitude because the buck stops with you. Everyone else gets paid before you do. You got to take care of your team. But I also believe that there's no more rewarding job in the world than entrepreneurship.
Oh, it's true. Like, well said. I mean, that's exactly it, right? There's reasons why we do it. Now, I have followed you on both your Instagrams, your Amber page and your Far Beyond Marketing. I always like to do that. Hey, out there, shout out anybody on Instagram. Be sure to follow Amber and Far Beyond Marketing. Steer us while you're at it. That would be nice. We'd appreciate more follow backs too. Talk to us
Absolutely.
about where our audience can find you or how they get in touch with you.
Sure. So we try to be on the major platforms. We do a lot of interaction with clients on LinkedIn. As I mentioned, we are always happy to do a free consultation, which can be booked at our website, farbeyondmarketing.com. And then you can follow us on social media, as you mentioned. And then our book is available on Amazon.
And can you say that title of that book again, Amber, please, so people can
Oh,
find it?
sure. Yes, it's the Far Beyond Marketing Guidebook, How to Stop Being Duped by Bad Marketing.
See, that's just it. But it's better coming from you. People are going to listen instead of, oh, that host again chatting off. Okay, last question as we wrap up, I promise, because it's been fun and informative. If we could peek into your closet and we could see
Ooh.
some clothes or shoes, might be flip-flops, sandals, heels, boots, something that personifies who you are, Amber Page, what are we looking at? And describe it to us and tell us why it embodies who you are as a person.
Oh, goodness. Well, okay, let's start with my accessories. So I always wear a Texas made out of opal. My mother serves in the Texas House of Representatives. So this little Texas came from the gift shop at the Texas State Capitol. And then my other necklace is Howdy. So I am a multi-generation Texan. We're actually considered a Texas first family. We've been here since before Texas was its own country. So I'm a diehard Texan, like to represent that in the jewelry. I'm also a girly girl, so I've got a little Louis Vuitton that I like to carry. She's just, my little friend that goes everywhere with me. But then I'm also pretty much a tomboy, so I've got some cowboy boots, I've got jeans, and then I'm a former opera singer, so I've got all the sequin gowns, the feathers, and the beads. So I'm pretty well diversified, Dr. L.
I'd say so. I think that is the most expansive response that I think I've ever heard. And like, I love it, right? Why be chained into one thing? It's like,
Yeah,
no, today it's feathered boas and
that's
sequins, or
right.
no, it's cowboy boots and jean shorts today, because that's the kind of day it's been, right?
That's
Oh, I
right.
love it.
I tell my team the same thing. Come to work comfortable.
There you go. That's fantastic. So, with that, this is a wrap for Small Biz Stories. Thank you again to Amber Page, founder of Far Beyond Marketing. Check her out. We'll have all the links in the show notes to get her book and to book a consultation online if that's your thing. All right. Thank you, Amber.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
Uh,